day. My name is Kelly Prather. I am the host of Kelly's Commentary, and I welcome you to today's show. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a role reversal. My gracious host, I am here today with my gracious host, Miss LaMonica Duckworth, and she will be leading the conversation. How are you, LaMonica?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
Ooh, LaMonica, this has been a journey.
I see. So I am so excited to get this show started. This commentary.
Yes.
I just have to ask you. This show has to be pretty much about you.
Okay.
So I've seen that you've been really busy the last couple of days. Well, I know you've been busy for a while now, but these last few days have been a little hectic for you. And I'm seeing you've been here and there, and it's like, do you have a twin, a triplet? Girl, what are you doing? Let us know what is going on with this, everything.
LaMonica, I'm doing it by the grace of God. I heard that the Cincinnati City Council race was more intense than a statewide race, and it's the truth. One of my biggest consultants, Freeman McNeil, he said that a lot of candidates refer to October, the month before the election, as Hell Month, and I don't like to refer to anything as hell. I prefer to be in a euphoric state and think of everything as a pleasant experience or a heaven-like experience, but I'm telling you, I'm on the go. From 6 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, I'm going. I am going. And, that's what grassroots campaigning is about. The Cincinnati City Council races is just so competitive. There are 23 candidates altogether, and so you have to touch so many different people. But I'm doing it. I'm excited. I'm finding myself in places where I never thought I would be. A perfect example is I was just looking for candidate forums. I have my campaign manager, Ms. Benedict Javukana. She's from the Republic of Congo, and she's constantly searching for different events for me to engage in. And there was a candidate forum at the Oakley Recreation Center. And
I've seen that.
Yes. And so I'm thinking, I'll go to this forum and, just see how it goes, just introduce myself to my constituents on the east side, because there's 52 neighborhoods. But Monica, it was an East Side Tea Party forum.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting. With me being an independent Democrat, very interesting. But they were welcoming and receptive to the campaign, and they wanted to know who I was, what I was doing, and what I planned on doing for the city. So it was an interesting experience. But all in all is well. As far as the bags under my eyes, I've never had bags.
I don't see any bags under your eyes. You look so rejuvenated today. Is it because the big debate is today?
Yes.
Oh my God! I mean, you were just so refreshed.
Yes.
I mean, really, it's like you took a couple of days off. You're glowing and everything. You're so gorgeous.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I took the day off because tonight, like you said, at the Community Action Agency, the Prince Hall Masons and the Cincinnati branch of the NAACP, they're hosting a part 2 of the Cincinnati City Council candidate forum, and I am on that forum. So
Okay.
it should be exciting.
Oh wow! And what time does this start?
It starts at 6 o'clock.
At 6.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so it's a 2.5-hour event from 6 to 8:30. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Oh yay! I'm sorry, I'm so excited for you. So this weekend, I mean, what has been going on besides the Tea Party forum? I've seen you've been a little bit of here and there.
Yes.
You've been working really hard introducing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I didn't get to catch up on a lot of things that was going on that you were
Mhm.
doing. So you want to fill us in a little bit about those as
Ooh.
well?
I mean, there's been a lot going on. Some of the things I'm really passionate about, because my campaign is centered on quality of life issues, addressing the most important things, making sure that people's basic needs are met. My platform is health, inclusion, and justice, and so we have to look at economic justice. We have to look at justice within the criminal and civil court systems. Just recently, on Saturday, we had the rally for Black women, the March and Rally for Black women, and I was there in support of Judge Tracy Hunter, who has been persecuted by the Hamilton County court system. She was unjustly thrown out of her seat as a juvenile court judge. She was the first African American woman who was elected to the juvenile court system in I think 110 years since the court was established. And so I stood in solidarity and in support of her, because at the end of the day, I would hope and pray that someone would stand with me if I'm being unjustly prosecuted. So they had that this weekend. On Fountain Square, I was really excited to participate with the, I think it's R&R Promotions and Wyatt Promotions and the local boxing association.
How was that? I've seen you down there.
Monica, that was amazing. It was an amazing experience, for one, with it being a groundbreaking event on Fountain Square. It took place without incident. Normally, when we have large groups of African American teens, there's always something always happens. And I remember at one of the events, prosecutor, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters called young black kids, soulless and savages who were soulless. And so it warmed my heart to see that event went out without incident.
Joe Dieters said that.
Yes, he said that about the, young African American boys and girls. He was not only referring to young men, he was also referring to women. And so I was happy to be down there and to see that we were just enjoying our time. It was well supervised. There weren't a lot of police officers around, which confirmed that we can police ourselves. We can, take our children and enjoy events without them being overly policed, overly put in situations where they could possibly be overly criminalized, but enjoying themselves in a healthy, productive activity. And I also met someone from Floyd Mayweather's team, the Money Team.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. How was that?
That was rewarding. He said that he could possibly talk to Floyd and have him come and do some type of an event here for my campaigns moving forward. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
I know, that would be amazing for both of us. So
yeah, that's good. So, I seen you were walking around this morning. Were you in your new building of your location of? I didn't really get to see the whole thing. I'm sorry.
Well, this morning I was at the Mid-City Executive Center. Now, I'm an occupational therapist and I have a home health agency. I'm a partner with Enhanced Healthcare Solutions, which is a business that I started here in Cincinnati in 2008 through the Cincinnati Business Incubator. So our office is located at 1821 Summit Road within the Mid-City Executive Center complexes. And so I was there. Okay. And whenever I'm out, you saw me campaigning, going live on Facebook and campaigning. And so I was there. But I was also in, Suite B to patronize Beauty by Trinity, which is owned by a close friend from Cincinnati State. So.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good. So after the debate, what's next?
Well, after the debate, of course, it's the height of campaign season. I will be out and about, just grassroots campaigning, going door to door, person to person, just letting them know what my plans are for the city. With me being a small business owner, and going back to me being in the Mid-City Executive Center, I want to get out and let people know that I'm extremely passionate about leveling the playing field, supporting small businesses as much as I can. I know that you're a cosmetologist and an esthetician, and this is a perfect opportunity for me to showcase you and all that you have going on. But I also want to continue to give other people an opportunity to come to the shows and to get the exposure that their marketing budgets probably won't allow for.
So appreciate that.
And then this weekend, now tomorrow, there was a young man who I went to school with, Devin Johnson. He died suddenly in a motorcycle accident on McMillan in Walnut Hills. And so tomorrow at Jack Casino, there would be his wife, Mrs. Kimberly Johnson. She declared October 4th Devin Johnson Day.
Okay.
And so there will be an event in his honor at Jack Casino. So.
And that's tomorrow, and the time for that is?
It's, I believe, 6 to 10.
Okay.
So
and that's the formal, right? Because
yes.
he was, yeah.
Yes, so that's in his honor. And then on Friday at Park Place in Forest Park, there's a black and white affair that is sponsored by a group of local promoters and hairstylists and barbers. So that's a big event that I'll attend this Friday at Park Place. And then on Saturday, the Black-owned store is having their 6th anniversary. So I do plan on attending their 6th anniversary, and that's also a Jack Casino. So very exciting weekend, getting out, just engaging with the community and grassroots campaigning at the same time.
Just busy. You have time. You get it in. People appreciate you.
Yeah, they do.
You're there. You're out in the neighborhood. You're talking to people, and that's one thing you really don't see candidates do.
Right.
And if you do see someone, it's one of their teammates, one of their team members, someone that's working for them that's out here in the streets. And people would like to interact with our up and coming candidates, or even once you're elected, to still somehow interact with them and not have to go through their entourage per se.
Right.
So we appreciate seeing you out here and you doing everything. So we just wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
Everything that's going on.
Thank you. And you know what's interesting is that prior to getting into politics, I never realized how you never see candidates unless it's during political season.
A parade or something.
Yeah, a parade, or unless they're out trying to get votes. And I wonder, like, where are they? People want people who are accessible, people who are open, honest,
Absolutely.
approachable, who they can ask everyday questions. They want people who can be honest and say, I don't know, but I can try to find out for you, instead of pretending, instead of ignoring them and pretending that I have the right answer, but I'm researching it somewhere, going and searching it, and then coming back as if I'm all knowing. And that's the beauty of being me. People appreciate me being me and seeing me perfect with my imperfections, working to just make a difference, and trying to be a voice for those who didn't even realize that our voices are powerful. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this journey. It's been tiring, but I think that my strength comes from, me reaching out, me asking for prayers. As a matter of fact, on Saturday, it was Friday. I text my pastor, Damon Lynch III of New Prospect Baptist Church, and I said, Pastor, pray for me. And so his response was, are you okay? And I said, yeah. I said, I am okay. I said, I'm feeling more encouraged now so than ever before. I'm feeling empowered to say things that I never would have said before, do things that I never would have done. And I said, I know with new strength and, new powers or new energies, I said, it calls for new abilities and new skills, and I'm just asking for you to pray for me. And he said, okay, I'll pray that God continues to give you strength. And so that was encouraging for me.
Yeah.
So I'm pressing forward.
Yeah, all the prayer I pray for you as well. And whenever you just pray, whenever you think that times could be tough, but for you it just doesn't look like it's really that tough.
Honey, well, God bless you, because for me, I mean, if on a daily basis, it seems like it's one thing after the next. But I'm a firm believer that it's not the situation, it's how you respond to the situation that makes all the difference. And at the end of the day, it's a test. It's a test that ultimately will add to your testimony, especially when you're walking into, when you're working to fulfill God's will for your life. So
yeah, the devil will try to be prosperous.
Yes, the
Can't
devil.
let him win. Yeah. So exactly, the type, I know there were some people who asked when my daughters were passing out flyers for you, exactly what is it? The people who don't know what type of candidate you are, what exactly are you? We know that you're fighting for, small business owners and things like that, but is it one certain thing that really gets you to what you're really fighting for, like healthcare, or?
I'm just, with me being a social justice and civil rights activist, I'm really passionate about justice. Justice is my ministry. I'm not a pastor. I've never wanted to go and lead a church or be married to a pastor, but I think that God gives us all a ministry, and justice is a ministry. And when I talk about justice, I have to make it clear that I'm talking about economic justice. I'm talking about justice in the healthcare arena, talking about justice in the criminal court system, the civil court system, justice and standing up for people's rights and standing up for what you believe in. And most recently, God planted in my heart, and I'm like, Lord, what am I doing? And, I just had to think about what is it that I love. And I know that I love my community, I love my family, I love myself, and I love Cincinnati.
First and foremost.
And I'm like, Lord, and all of a sudden I started thinking, and it was like, I live for what I love, and I will die for what I believe in. And for me to say that I live for what I love and I'm willing to die for what I believe in, that's profound, because a lot of people don't want to talk about death, but I think that shows that my spirit is settled. My spirit is settled. I'm in a really good place. And, because I'm doing the right thing, I can proceed knowing that God is pleased.
You're fulfilling your purpose.
I'm fulfilling my purpose, and God is pleased with the work that I'm doing. So, onward and upward.
Amen. Yes, testimony. Testify. So, with all the stuff that's going on, and once election and stuff is finished, because election is on
November 7th, but people can actually vote starting October, I think October 6th. You can vote 30 days prior to the election. So early voting starts, people they can go to, and I can't tell them who to vote for,
Right. Absolutely.
but I can tell them that they go to the Hamilton County Board of Elections and vote.
Starting October 6th.
I believe it's October 6th.
October 6th. Good. And that's every day after, or just not the weekends?
I believe on the weekends, the weekend prior to the election, they'll have certain hours that are designated. A lot of times with the elections, I know especially the general election, the presidential election, they'll do souls to the polls, and churches will take busfuls of their members to the polls or to the Board of Elections to vote. So I don't know if that is relevant or if that's going to take place this year, but I know that the weekend prior to the election, they'll have special hours when people can come in and vote. And then every day, I think early voting stops at a certain time on the Monday before, if not the Sunday before. So I have to get the details, but there's a lot going on. As far as voter education, the Women's League of Voters is hosting a forum, I believe, tomorrow. To talk about voter education and talk about some of the ballot initiatives. So,
and where would this be located at?
This will be located, I want to say, at one of the libraries, but I'll get the information. Make sure you have that information.
Okay, and will you go live with it?
Yes, if I am there, I will definitely go live with that. I do plan on going live in the casino. I know that in the casino, because they are gambling, you're limited as to where you can go live and share the experience, but I do plan on going live at some of the venues that I'm at tomorrow.
Okay. Well, it was good information. It was nice to know some things about you.
Okay.
And it's almost about that time, right?
I think that we're doing good. But we do have a couple minutes, so I want to ask you, what have you been up to? I know that you've been doing a lot as far as helping my campaign, and not really helping me with my campaign, and I appreciate that. But other than that, I don't want to make this all about me. What have you been up to?
Oh, same old that you're going to ask me every week. I'm just trying to push forward, get one of the kids ready for college, trying to better my children. And what I mean by better is that's just to give them as much education, give them as much different variety of things to do, as far as, they all play instruments, they all love to draw, write, read, all that type of things, and very crafty. But I've just been busy trying to find, I talked to someone today about a location on helping me open up a shop, so they were giving me insight on that. So fingers crossed, soon I'll be a business owner too. But in the meanwhile, it's just out here just trying to make it in Hamilton County,
right?
So, and getting an education at OMS, of course, just something I've always wanted to do. So I can't wait to finish that, alongside you. But other than that, just being a mom and enjoying it as long as I can, because we don't know what tomorrow holds, and
you never know. You know what? You never know what tomorrow holds. And that rings so true. On Sunday when I was at church, one of our praise and worship team members, Dunamis Mind Ministry, LaDevin Johnson, he was on a trip with his wife, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, what circumstances led to his death, but we found out on Sunday while we were in church that he transitioned, he died. And so rest in peace to LaDevin of Dunamis Mind Ministry. My praise and worship team in New Prospect. It was heartbreaking, and I hated to hear that. But like you said, you never know from day to day. I think that we need to start enjoying the moment, enjoying each other, and enjoying the moment,
and making wonderful memories.
Yes.
Because of course, the Las Vegas casino. That's just I have people out there, and I had to call, and I wasn't getting the answers, so I'm messaging them. Where you at? Are you okay?
Yes.
What's going on? Were you there? Because I know you like country music too. Like, where were you? Where are you? Hit me back, and of course they were like, yeah, we're okay. Wasn't nowhere around. And one cousin was like, oh, I moved. I was like, yay, but not yay. Took that weight up off my shoulders. So with all this stuff going around, what's coming, They say we're in our last days. So make the best of it.
Make the best of it.
And be happy.
And be happy. Speaking of that tragedy in Las Vegas, that was heart-wrenching. That was heartbreaking. And to hear that, it was a 64-year-old man who, I guess he went off and he had enough. It just shows where people within society, all age groups, where we are mentally. And it calls for, that's a cry for comprehensive gun control, which is something that I fought for and advocated for during the U.S. Senate race. And although I am a CCW holder, I have a permit to carry a gun because I do respect the Second Amendment right to bear arms. We definitely need more comprehensive gun control with extensive background checks, including mental health checks.
But as they said, I don't know if you've seen that part, like he didn't have any type of mental illness history or anything like that. So they dug into his father and found into his parents, of course, that's where they go to next, and found out that his father committed some type of crime, went to jail, escaped, been on a run for so many years, and then I want to say, don't quote me on it, he ended up dying somehow. Let's just put it that way. So then they tried to say, could that be a reason? His father is not him, so I wish they wouldn't go into things like that and say that could be a reason. If this man was living for 64, 65 years and he had a good job, good life, never been in trouble, a hunter, had rifles, who's to say what happened? We can't blame it on his parents.
We can't blame it on his parents, but what's concerning to me is they said that he had a barrage of
45 of them
guns in that hotel room. How did he get all that machinery, all those weapons in that hotel room without someone wondering, like, what is this? I mean, I know that I'm almost certain that he didn't fly into Vegas, into that hotel, but still he carried.
He lived in Vegas somewhere.
Okay. So while he carried all of those guns into that hotel and it wasn't cause for alarm, like, well, what in the world is this? Like, no one else?
They were trying to say maybe he walked out with the duffel bag and kept, coming back in and hiding it, in pants, because you can hide things very, conceal them throughout your clothes. But then they brought up a female.
Right.
And I think it was the female that he was in the picture with at the bar.
Okay.
And saying that maybe she helped, and it's just like, oh my God, you're coming to so many conclusions.
Right.
It's a sad day. We don't know. He didn't leave any notes or anything. I mean, it's terrible and it's sad that.
Tragic.
Yeah, it came to that, to where he became a terrorist at that point.
Wow.
And it's just he hurt so many people. And then I guess he felt he had to hurt himself, but that just doesn't.
Right, it's unacceptable. It's a tragedy all across the board. But the one thing I found really interesting, and Lincoln Ware from the Lincoln One Morning Show mentioned this today. You kept hearing that he's a 64-year-old man, but you never talked about they never discussed the race until they showed the picture. But had it been a black man, then,
like in Texas?
Yes, like in Texas, it would have been 64-year-old black man did this immediately. That would have been on the news. But the fact that there was some hesitation or some reluctance on the media part of the media to share his racial background, that kind of confirmed that this is a white man. And considering the media, how the media is always skewed in terms of putting out information, how they relay information related to race, that calls for.
It's still what we call like a modern day slavery.
Yes.
So even though they're putting more African American or people of color in front of the camera, they still have us say things about black people or African American people, but they would never, once again, say anything about, oh, it was a white person. So you know when they don't mention color and don't show a picture, you know that it's a person of non-color, so just like, for instance, she's leaving her baby in a car, but then if a black person did it, it's just like the black person gets more time, and it's just sad.
It just speaks to the fact that we need to change the face of the media. The media is one of the most important industries in the nation. Of course, with me being a healthcare provider, and like I said, health is the new wealth. economy and health, but also the media. The media is one of the most important industries in the nation because it conditions us to see or helps us to give images of the world around us. We need to change the face, and we need to start presenting news that basically shows our reality, and it shows communities of color, especially the black and brown communities, in a more positive light.
I think so too. So if we get more people who, because I'm looking around, a lot of people of color are having little podcast shows, maybe located inside the barbershop or somewhere in the studio. But if we can get more people of color, brown, whatever, to just sit out and talk about what's going on, and so that everyone can see our light without us being on predominantly say white network where they're going to pretty much cover up, oh, you can't say this and you cannot say that.
Right.
But just to let them know how intelligent we are, how bright we are, and how it's not what you make it out to be.
Exactly.
We all can come together and work on something, so.
Yeah. And I think, and you hit the nail on the head. I know we need to start wrapping up, but we can all come together and work on something really productive and make a difference in each other's lives. One of my favorite quotes by Virginia Satir is, "We get together on the basis of our similarities and we grow on the basis of our differences." And so just like me walking into that tea party event and sitting down and saying, hey, I'm here, whether you like it or not, we are here and you should accept us. We just need to be able to sit at the table, have a healthy discussion, agree to disagree without becoming disagreeable, and reach a healthy medium that's going to work in the best interest of the public with the understanding that you're not going to be able to satisfy everyone, but if you're working to satisfy as many as possible, then that's all you can do. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to please everyone. And I think that, in politics or in any field, people need to understand that the only perfect man that ever walked the face of the earth was Jesus, and the only person who can create a perfect life is the Creator. And so none of us we're not our own creator. So,
right.
But I'm going to give you a minute or so to wrap up. I think we have a couple minutes left, so you can take us out.
All right, well, guys, thanks for watching Kelly's Commentary. I am co-host LaMonica Duckworth, and I am so proud to be co-hosting next to the beautiful candidate for City of Cincinnati Council, Miss Kelly Prather.
Thank you.
I want to wish you the best of luck. Ooh, let it out. And kill him, girl.
I think I'm ready. I just, I think that just being able to role play these scenarios and even talk it out with you and kind of go over the barrage of issues that we're faced with in the community, it helps me to just prepare to be a more efficient and effective leader. So thank you. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of Kelly's Commentary. I have two shows, Catching Up with Kelly and Kelly's Commentary. This is Kelly's Commentary. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. As always, you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also check out my website, kellyforthepeople.com. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. God bless and goodbye.